Hello again, everybody. Gary Furman and Stephen Wagner here, and today we are breaking down the big commitment by the Miami Hurricanes of one Samson Okunlola. There is no underestimating how huge, pardon the pun, of a commitment this is for Miami to get a guy that you might be able to slide in at left tackle from minute one that he gets on campus and be a 3-year starter. Very similar to what Alabama was able to do with Evan Neal. I think he got in there in the starting lineup in the middle of his freshman year. But Alabama, way further along than Miami is on the offensive line. So after reviewing the film and seeing exactly what Samson is all about, I fully expect him to walk in as a true freshman, maybe even start from day one. Your thoughts?
I definitely think that there's a good possibility that happens. You look at some of the tape that he's had over the last year or two, and the first thing that pops out to you is how absolutely dominant he is against competition that is, quite frankly, lesser. I mean, look at him on the field. There's no one else on the field who really looks like him physically, or anyone who's able to even, remotely come close to his strength. He's been able to absolutely dominate and overpower virtually every opponent he's faced. And, should it be held against him that he is absolutely dominated maybe a lesser level of competition? Absolutely not. It's never going to be held against you for being absolutely great at a certain level. But one small concern that I do have, and I am not at all disputing his talent, but I am curious about how he will adjust to the physicality at the college level, because he's never been challenged before. I mean, look at this tape. Look at the way that he's able to push these guys around and have his way with virtually everyone. He calls himself the pancake honcho for a reason, and he shows exactly why in all these clips. I mean, he is nothing short of physically dominant against every single person that he goes up against. Well, kind of a newsflash is whenever he gets to Miami, he is going to be challenged. He is going to go up against some similar talent. And while he does absolutely have the talent to come in and I think make an immediate impact, I am going to be curious to see how long it takes someone like him to really adjust to the college level of physicality and the level of physicality that you're certainly going to be accustomed to at a school like Miami.
Totally agree with you on that point. And that was something that came to my mind. He just manhandles everybody in high school. It's almost like ridiculous to watch these. We're playing a couple minutes of highlights here. It's kind of ridiculous to watch, quite frankly. But I watched it over and over, Stephen, and I was looking for clues. And there were two things that stood out to me. I like his footwork. He seems to have really good feet. And I like how he understands leverage. He seems to do a good job of positioning his body, getting himself in a good place on almost every single play to make the blocks that he's expected to make. Now, the point of the physicality of the college game, him getting used to playing a more physical brand of football, there is no question that will be an adjustment for him in college. But I don't know when he's gonna. I'm looking. If you look forward a little bit and take a look at, say, the Miami defensive line, where is the beastly defensive end right now? Unless Nigel Kelly maybe can become that by next fall. Where is that beastly defensive end that's really going to test Samson Okunlola? I'm not sure it's on the Miami roster right now. Jafari Harvey can get physical at times maybe, but Cyrus Moss is not going to be ready to do that. So I'm not sure when that day is going to come when Samson is going to look across the line of scrimmage and it's going to be like, time to strap it on, big boy, because, I'm coming at you and we're going to see what you're made of. And how will he respond in that moment? And so I think that's a really good point you made, Stephen. Closing thoughts.
He absolutely has the talent to come in and make that impact. Yeah, adding a third 5-star recruit to this Miami roster, I mean, there is no understating how huge this is for Mario Cristobal. And this is what Cristobal came to Miami to do. He came here to nab a lot of five-star recruits and get these blue chips and really elevate Miami recruiting to a level that it frankly hasn't been at in recent years. And he's doing that. Adding Okunlola feels like it's the next step to landing a top 5 recruiting class, which would be the first top 5 class since 2008 for the Hurricanes, according to the On3 consensus. It certainly feels like a step in the right direction. Okunlola feels like a guy who can come in and make that immediate impact. And, if they also landed Javion Cohen, the transfer from Alabama, and with Francis Malgoa coming in, who's also another tackle, I mean, you're looking at potentially 3 or more new faces on that offensive line next year. It's key that, or it's clear that they view Okunlola as a key piece in rebuilding that line.
And maybe Messidor can challenge him a little bit. That's not really his game. I think Harvey maybe is a little more physically equipped to mount a little bit more of a challenge to Samson, test him a little bit in his opening days on the Miami campus. But it's going to be interesting to look forward to when he hits that moment in time where he is challenged physically and size-wise, maybe for the first time in his entire life. And that will be a key, but unquestionably just a magnificent prospect to add to this recruiting class. Great job by Alex Mirabal. Great job by Mario Cristobal in landing this 5-star talent. So if you like this content on our YouTube channel, hit your subscribe button, hit your like button. It helps us with the algorithms at YouTube, helps us grow our audience. We appreciate it. If you're not yet a subscriber to canesport.com, please get on over. Our introductory special continues. $10 takes you to the start of next football season. So for Stephen Wagner, I'm Gary Furman. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time, everybody.